Before this video gets started, I want to say two things. In my last video, how strong the OG Dragon Ball characters are, I messed up the math majorly, so I pinned a comment explaining it far better than I did, and I'm probably not going to do a video like that again anytime soon because I'm terrible at math. And second off, this series, How Strong Are the Dragon Ball movie characters, has already been done by a guy named Numbers, so check out his channel, I'll link it in the description. His production value is a lot greater than mine, so you should probably watch his series instead of mine if I'm being honest, but I'm going to do more high-end scaling compared to him who did more conservative scaling, which there's nothing wrong with, but I want to show you exactly how strong these Dragon Ball characters can really get when you take them to their absolute limits. So let's go. So if you're watching this video, you're probably already vaguely familiar with Garlic Jr., but I'll give you a quick rundown exactly on who he is really fast. So Garlic had beef with Kami, who was the previous god of Earth. Garlic got sealed away by Kami and then reincarnated himself into his son, Garlic Jr., which is kind of weird, but I mean, Piccolo basically did the same thing, so I'll let it slide this time. But anyways, this guy, okay, not Kurt Angle, this guy, there you go, Garlic Jr., is able to create a place called the Dead Zone with his own ki. Now, depending on the translation, you use either hyperspace or superspace. The hyperspace translation gets to about 4D, or fourth dimensional for those laymen, or fifth dimensional to infinite dimensional if you use the superspace definition. Now, using the actual kanji, the actual raw translation for this, it translates more accurately to superspace from what I see. So you could say it's hyperspace, regardless it's still fourth dimensional at the very least. However, it would be more likely to be fifth dimensional to infinitely dimensional. Now, the main thing people always say is, oh, but the movies aren't canon. And to a certain extent, that is true. Some of the movies literally cannot take place in the timeline because it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Like, for example, Dead Zone. Krillin doesn't seem to know Gohan when he gets kidnapped by Raditz, yet he literally fought to save him in Dead Zone. So how does he not know the kid he just saved not even that long ago? It doesn't make any sense. And Broly is supposed to take place in the days before the Cell games. But if you think about it, if they were fighting Broly of all people, don't you think that they would be strong enough over Zenkais to take down Cell? And honestly, that one's kind of not even really a plot hole because they didn't get really the Zenkai. But it still doesn't really make that much sense when you think about how strong Broly was in comparison to Cell. And they should have gotten extreme Zenkais from that. Strong enough for them to all team up on Cell and take him down if you think about it. So really, the movies don't actually fit into the anime timeline because they're their own dimensions. Even Toriyama himself said this. However, the anime actually has an arc pertaining to Garlic Jr. And this proves that the Dead Zone movie is canon because they actually mention the events that happened during it. So if you want to go by the manga and say, oh, Garlic Jr. isn't canon, you can do that, but according to Toriyama, both the anime and the manga are canon, but just different timelines. So, I mean, Garlic Jr. is canon whether you like it or not, proving that Garlic Jr. has 4D to potentially infinitely dimensional attack potency using his ki before Raditz even technically shows up, which is actually insane. But that's not even the craziest part. See, the anime making the movie canon proves that what happened in the movie was canon. Therefore, Gohan as a kid with his hidden potential is able to overpower Garlic Jr. with his own ki, meaning that Gohan as a kid has hyper-versatile attack potency and Cello's 99% of anime. And kind of fiction too, but that's getting a little bit too deep for me right now, that's what she said. So basically, Gohan as a kid is strong enough to take down a majority of fiction, and that's due to one movie and Garlic Jr. So let's all thank Garlic Jr. guys, give him a hand of applause. But this video was pretty short because there wasn't really much to cover. It was pretty straightforward. Garlic Jr. is hyper versatile, or 4D if you want to lowball him, and Gohan scales to that at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, meaning that characters that have the same power level or higher as Gohan at that point in the Dead Zone movie would be 4D to hyper versatile as well. It's pretty straightforward. I guess that does it for this video. So what should I do for the next one? Might have something to do with the blue hedgehog, but I'm not really sure.